We made it, folks. Here I am, back in the flesh. Again, not prepared for this. Just making this video out of respect for, I think, the two people that asked for it. So, let's just get to it. Week 7 happened, all wrapped up in the books. Moving on to week 8. Here we are. I'll give an updated standings. You know the routine. Let's just get through it. Last week, this happened. Fucking John moves up to 6-1, took me down. By the way, everyone last week at least scored 104 points. So I'd say that's the first time all year that I'm remembering that there wasn't one complete dud of a team. Usually there's been like one team that scores like 70 or 50 or like 91 and loses to a 97-point team, something like that. So the lowest winning total was 118. But then again, somebody lost with, just under 130. So I'd say it was an evenly matched week. The one I'd say blowout was 173 to 125.5, but 125.5 will win you most games because it was the fifth highest. Yeah, so middle of the road, went up against number one scorer for the week. So is what it is there. But real quick. Again, I lost to Johnny. Again, just, picking up people left and right. I don't know how long he's had Joe Burrow on his team, but I'm sure it was the first week that he started him because he's got Russell Wilson out. 31.6 points. Great pickup there. I'm not going to mention who. Somebody dropped A.J. Brown. I wasn't on the bidding for him. I don't know who else was, but Johnny picked him up for $11 and basically got him the win along with his other free agent addition. So John's squad by week just continues to win by week. So good for him. Dearness Johnson, also a big game. I think like analytic wise, he had like the best running game of the season, which I don't get is how that's possible with Derrick Henry having like 2 touchdowns and 100-something yards for like 5 weeks in a row. But whatever. Almost 25 points for Dearness Johnson. Matt Stafford did good for me, 32 points. My defense got 21, but everyone else just did not enough. I lost 122.5 to 137, moving me down to 4-3, and John again 6-1. So 2 teams that are now 3-4. Jess, welcome to the damn near 500 match, 500 line. Good for you because I didn't think you'd even get 3 wins all year. So 118 in the win against 104 from Brian. And this was the one week that, Jess had some top-heavy talent with 34 points from Jamar Chase, who's just a rookie unreal right now. Chris Godwin, 25. Kyle Pitts, 23. Brian, you got a whole bunch of 17s or 18s. It looks like 18 from Derrick Henry, 17.5 from DK Metcalf, which most of it was all on that one play because he had, an 86-yard touchdown, so that's 86, 14.6, so 15.6 just from that one play. So he probably only got like one more catch in the rest of the game for 10 yards. Don't look at the stats right in front of me, but I know he had like an 84-yard touchdown or an 86-yard touchdown, whatever the hell it was. So outside of that, he did nothing. Leonard Fournette also 17 points, but again, only 104. That was the lowest score of the week. And those were the 2 of the matchups that I got wrong. I picked myself and Brian. I didn't write these down or didn't mention them in the chat, but I wrote them down on my paper here. Before the Thursday game started, I thought I was going to win by 15. I wrote Brian would win by 50 unless Jess did something with her lineup. And then I said he would win by 16. He ended up losing by 14. I ended up losing by 15 considering I said I was going to win by 15. So like 30-point swings on both of those matchups, whatever. Jay, I picked you right. I had you winning by, what did I wrote down here? I had you winning by 12. You ended up winning by 6, 0.02, if you want to be brutally honest. No huge games. I mean, just continued scoring from Aaron Rodgers, 27, almost 28. Deebo Samuel, 21 in that rainy, windy game in San Fran. And Jonathan Taylor with 18. Stevens, 23 from Kyler Murray, 19 from Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, but everyone else kind of sucked. Matt, I had you perfect, I think. Yes, this was the one matchup I had perfect. I said you'd win by 8. You won by 8.04. And yeah, Mike Evans, you got wide receivers there, but again, you're just doing a coin flip on who you're going to play each week. 31.5 for Mike Evans. I think he had 3 touchdowns and threw away the 600th ball, which, yes, the guy got, so much back for it, but I mean, that's a piece of history, man. You got a Bitcoin, season tickets for the rest of the year, season tickets for next year, $1,000 gift card to the pro shop, signed jerseys and helmets or some shit like that, and I'm sure there's going to be, something else that's thrown in there that isn't mentioned, but I mean, yeah, the ball belongs with Tom. Yeah, the ball belongs in wherever, Canton, Ohio, wherever the freaking NFL Hall of Fame is, but you keep that ball if fucking Mike Evans gives you that ball, you keep that ball. So whatever. DeAndre Swift also 28 points. Mike Gesicki with 21.5. Good. Like I said, you always want to have that third player around, like 21, 22 points if possible to like almost guarantee you a win. Who'd you play? Joe had, again, Tom Brady continues to be like a top 3 fantasy quarterback, which is great at the age of 40, whatever the hell he is. 32.5 points, almost Michael Pittman, 20.5 points. Javonte Williams, if he's your number 3 scorer, then, I mean, he had either a big game or your team sucks. But Javonte Williams was 17.2. Mickey, one of the guys that wants the video back because he's on a pretty damn good streak right now and finds himself finally back kind of where he belongs in the top 3 of the overall standings. 37.6 points from Cooper Kupp, 34 points from Alvin Kamara, 25 points from Damian Harris. That's huge output from a top 3. That's damn near 100 points themselves. So good job there. And I had you winning by 16. You ended up winning by 47. Again, this was the blowout, but again, Rafi still put up 125.5. 25.5 from Jalen Hurts, 25 from Terry McLaurin, 17 almost from Elijah Mitchell. We'll see what happens this week. Moving on. Who picked up who? Just because I'm interested and I saw some names on here. There's probably some more pickups. Let's see. Yeah, I picked up, I think that's me. I picked up Khalil Herbert. Again, I got this freaking icon because I got the 2 screens up. I don't know why I haven't had this one up on the right screen though. So, got the 2 screens up here. Let me get that one to load, hopefully without an advertisement. But I picked up Khalil Herbert. I think it was Stevens. I could be wrong. Let me try to refresh this page and see if it'll show me who's there. Somebody picked up Allen Robinson. Really? Why are you going to F me over like that? Who's number 2? Come on, refresh. Refresh. What's that Subway commercial? You got to refresh to be fresh? Stupid. Subway's gross. Okay, now it just doesn't want to load at all. That's just great. Great job, Mike. Okay, someone picked up Allen Robinson for $12. Looks like a couple other people put in for Khalil Herbert, the running back from Chicago, who should only be there for maybe like one more week or 2, depending on how long David Montgomery's out. So again, I picked him up for 13. Somebody else bid 5. Somebody else bid $1, which wasn't going to get him. So I picked Allen Robinson for 12. Nobody else bid on him. Matt picked up Daniel Jones for $2. Dropped a kicker. You still have, I think, 2 defenses on your team. Joe picked up the Bengals D against the Jets this week. Dropped the Saints D. And John picked up Zach Ertz, the new tight end from Arizona. I did just see, speaking of Arizona, that it looks like J.J. Watt, one of the great guys in the league, is probably done for the year, which sucks for them because their defense has actually looked well, considering that was supposed to be an awful defense coming into the year. So 7-0 versus 6-1 tonight on Thursday Night Football, which is pretty good. No Devontae Adams, no Alan Lazard. Marcus Valdez-Scantling might be back from IR this week. He should be back, but he'll be on a pitch count or whatever. So Green Bay's down to freaking like Randall Cobb and Bobby T.D. Tunyon, and hopefully they just give the ball to Aaron Jones a colossal butt ton, because I've got him in another league that I'm trying to get myself into the top 2 or 3 in that league. So we'll see. We'll see. Let me go into the standings if it'll load properly on this screen, so I can leave that screen alone for the matchups. Yep, here we go. Of course. Okay. Well, if I use the bottom half, I can see the actual team names there. Okay. In first, again, Johnny at 6-1. Playoff percentage at 96%. Coming in at number 2 is Jay. 83% playoff percentage. Mickey is number 3 with the second highest playoff percentage at 95. I'm currently in 4th. So me and Mickey are tied at 4-3. Jay's at 5-2. So even if he loses, he's still guaranteed a top 4 spot. And then there's 5 teams at 3-4, which in order are Brian, Raffy, because it ain't gay if you get paid, Matt, Jess, and then Stevens, gay if you get paid, and Joe at the bottom at 1-6. He's got an 8% chance to make the playoffs. If we go by total points forward, standings are a little bit different. We've got Mickey first overall, Brian at number 2, Raffy, then the 2 Diezik brothers, Matt and myself, Jay, John, Joe, Jess, and then Steven. So first and second overall in standings are actually 6th and 7th in points forward. Most points against. Looks like Raffy's gone up against the most. The 2 gay teams, it ain't gay if you get paid, goes the most points, and then gay if you get paid. Stevens is at second most, Joe 3rd, Jess 4th, Jay 5th, Brian, Matt, me, Jess, and John has gone up against the least amount of points, which is why he's at number 1 overall at 6-1. Through 7 weeks, that means you're looking at 100 and you're going up against like 113 points a week versus Raffy, who's gone up against, let's see, 993 divided by 7, 140 something, 143 calculator, 993.26 divided by 7, 142. What did I guess? 143. Okay, pretty good. I still got it in me at 7:50 in the morning. So, yeah, that's that. That's the standings. I'm not doing power rankings because I can't even fucking pick these games right. I went 3-2 again. So what am I now? 20-16. Does that make sense? No, 20-15. There's 5 games every week. We've played 7. Yeah, 20-15 overall. So 20 out of 35, which would be divide each by 5. That's 4 out of 7. Come on, I used to be able to do this crap. 4 out of 7, 17. So that's 60. Is that even 6? Come on, man. So much for thinking I have my numbers right. 4 divided by 7. 57 point, yeah, 57%. Dumbass, I can't do math in my head. Okay. Moving on, this week, again, myself, I think this would basically be what I would pick as the matchup of the week, just because I think it's a must-win for both teams. We find ourselves at 4-5 overall in the standings. Brian has lost, I believe, 3 in a row. So both teams are on a losing streak. I've lost 1 in a row. Brian's lost 3 in a row. Loser of this game should find themselves on the outside looking in, unless, tiebreakers for total points or whatever, then we might fall down to 5th or 6th, or down to 6th or so. But, whoever wins this will find themselves in a much better position moving into week 9. So I've got my top 3 running backs out, hurt, or on a bye week, which is Saquon Barkley, who might not play, probably won't play. If he does play, it'll, again, be on a pitch count, so I'm not even going to plan on playing him at all. Miles Sanders, thought he broke his freaking ankle or something 2 weeks ago, or last week, but, whatever. I haven't even been playing him anyway because he sucks so far this year. And Josh Jacobs, who when he has played has done well for me. He's on a bye week. I've got my usual number one quarterback, Dak Prescott, on the bench this week. So my bench is kind of stacked, unfortunately, because I'm not using them. But my starting wide receivers I still like a lot, especially this week against yours. So I like my matchups, I'd say, more. We've probably got the two highest projection for quarterbacks. I've got Stafford going up at Houston, projected for 26. You've got Mahomes, projected for 27 at home against the Giants. Mahomes has not looked that good. The Kansas City offense, Kansas City team has not looked that good in quite some time, but you never want to go up against Pat Mahomes. I think that's the Monday night game this week, too, so he'll want to show up and show out. You got Derrick Henry, number one running back so far this year in fantasy, averaging 27 points a week, which is stupid. Had a passing touchdown last week. Didn't even get a rushing touchdown, I don't remember. But Tennessee's looking pretty damn good this year so far after, they've lost to the Jets. And then they beat Buffalo and Kansas City in back-to-back weeks. So that's called a quick turnaround. Yes, I know they didn't have A.J. Brown or Julio Jones in that game. They lost to the Jets, but they still lost to the Jets. Before I go through too far, I kind of just like my matchup. I think actually it has you favored by 2.5 points, but I'm going to give myself the edge here. I'm going me over Brian, because that way I know who was in both teams in the matchup. Me over Brian. I'm going by Niner. Just because I saw you got San Fran's defense 49ers, so I'm going to beat you by a Niner. Yep, just said it. I know, I'm stupid. Jess, 3-4 versus Stevens, also at 3-4. 8 versus 9 in the standings right now. Jess has done some things to get her team. She actually has nobody on a bye week this week, which is great for her. Stevens has a couple on a bye week. I see a projection here for Michael Thomas. I don't think he's back this week. He should be back next week, I think, which brings them up. Again, not remembering from memory, I just remember seeing something that he was still supposed to be a week or two away, and I think they have their bye week. I don't know if they've already had it. Maybe I thought it was week 10. I could be wrong. Again, I don't know what I'm doing here, folks. You guys just listen to me. Or some of you do. So, as of right now, I mean, they both have some roster lineups changes that are needed. Without going into too much detail, but Jess's team actually looks kind of set this week. Like, she's got some players here. And, again, just a little bit of roster changes to bump up. I know projections mean absolutely nothing, but seeing who is out for Stevens still, like, next week you don't want to play against Stevens, or 2 weeks down the road you don't want to play against Stevens, but right now you do. And Jess I think Jess gets to 4-4. Jess over Stevens. And I think it's going to be kind of easy. I think Jess gets a win by 14. Jess wins by 14. Calling it. Why not? Let's do it. Number one in the standings versus Bubble Boy right now, Matt. John versus Matt. Let's see. Anybody on the bench that should be in the starting lineup. Biggest projection for both of them are bench run-it wide receivers for the Giants, who are all questionable to play on Monday night. So they probably won't get played at all, because by the time their status is made clear, everybody else will have already played on their teams. So it looks like everyone's roster is set for now. Again, Matt's got two defenses that are going up against, Dallas defense and Cleveland defense. Either one of them, I guess they're both kind of in the same boat this week. Whereas John's got Rams defense. And why am I talking about defenses? Who cares about defenses? John's got a healthy Nick Chubb back. He should be healthy enough to play all game. Again, that pickup of A.J. Brown is just huge for your team. Adds, another level to you. Again, you got lucky at 6-1 so far, and then you just picked up, a damn near stud who hasn't done much this year, except for last week when you fucking beat me. So Matt's got wide receivers, but he just has to figure out who to play and having Devontae Adams out for the week actually makes his decision a whole lot easier. Lamar Jackson also out for the week, so you've got Daniel Jones against Kansas City, but who knows who he's going to throw the ball to if everyone is out. So he's going to have to run himself, which would be good for you fantasy-wise, but I'm still going John to go to 7-1. Crazy. John over Matt by 5.5. Heard it here. Heard it here. 5.5. And by the projections, that's actually an upset. Again, I think Matt's favored by 3. Number 2 versus number 3. Let's see. Jay versus Mickey in that order. Jay's 2, Mickey's 3. And Mickey's on a roll of 4 in a row. No. Mickey is on a winning streak of 3 in a row. Jay is on a winning streak of 4 in a row. So something's going to end here, you know, folks. You can't both win. You can both try to tie, but that would be stupid. Yeah. Josh Allen's back after a bye week. You got DeAndre Hopkins on your bench as of right now, Mickey. Zach Moss. You got Robert Woods on your bench. Jay. Yeah, I mean, just because you've got the Green Bay combination where they are both going to have to do a lot this week, but I don't know if they're going to be able to on a short week against Arizona in Arizona. I'm just going to go with Mickey because I am. Probably closer than the projection, so I'm going to go Mickey. And I know I'm already at 22 minutes, and it's fucking 8 o'clock now, and I got so much shit to do. So, last matchup, sorry, you're going to be a real quick one. Mickey over, who is this, Jay? By 3. It'll be a close one. A projection has it by like 17 right now, but that ain't going to happen. It'll be closer than that. Number 10 versus number 6, Joe versus Raffy. Joe versus Raffy. Okay, Tom Brady is still the number 1 quarterback in fantasy. Matt Stafford is number 2. Who thought those would be 1 and 2 through first 7 weeks of the year? That's great because Stafford was my backup, and now he's the number 2 quarterback in fantasy. Raffy has 2 number 1 players in fantasy, which is his tight end, obviously Travis Kelce. Really? Nick Folk is the number 1 kicker in fantasy so far this year. Yeah, he hasn't had a bye week. He's averaging 9.9 points as a kicker. Damn, okay. Wow. Didn't know. The more you know. Projected for 8 points. Wow. There you go. Your whole team is on away games, Raffy, and you're projected to win your only home player is Travis Kelce. Again, I'm looking into too much detail here. Joe's team is still a little banged up. Or bye weeks. Darren Waller on a bye. Clyde Edwards-Helaire on IR still. Sorry, Joe. You're going to continue losing. Yeah, you started off 1-0, and now you're going to go to 1-7. That's unfortunate. Oh, sorry, I just wrote down Joe because I was talking about him. Raffy over Joe. I think Raffy's the team that got blown out last week, but he does not get blown out this week. He actually has possibly the blowout of the week this week. Unless Dallas can't contain Dalvin Cook, but we'll see there. Because Tom Brady, I don't think, has a huge game at New Orleans. It'll possibly be a lower scoring game. Yeah, I'll just go by 10 for now. Raffy by 10. Okay, all done, folks. See you next week. Is what it is. See ya.